Don't mess anything up.
You got
As
it.
Steven said, my name is Noah Leininger. Thank you all for being out here this evening. I am an organizer with the Indy Liberation Center, and the Indy Liberation Center is a hub that tries to connect the struggles of working in oppressed and exploited peoples across this city. You know, we've been out day after day, week after week for the Palestinian people. I'm wearing a keffiyeh right now because we're fighting for free Palestine. And we know and we say that these struggles are inextricably linked. The struggle for a free Palestine is the same struggle for a free Black America. And we are committed to winning both of those struggles and more.
Yes.
You know, Wildstyle, when he sounded the alarm on this, referred to the invisible empire. And, you know, referring to the history that, you know, those of us who are plugged in, we know that a century ago, 1 in 3 white men in this state were members of the Ku Klux Klan. And there are membership rolls, there are books with membership rolls of the various Klan organizations across this state that exist. But they are kept in safe areas, quote unquote, protected from the people who might read those membership rolls and figure out the connections between the Klansmen of yesterday and the people in power today, whether it's in Hamilton County or right here in Indianapolis. And they are scared that we might find out that, yeah, some of these people who have power in this city, their grandparents, their great-grandparents were Klansmen. It's an attempt to avoid embarrassing the kinds of people who serve on these boards. But every now and then, they let the mask slip, and they speak honestly. Like with Newfields posting the job, talking about how they wanted someone to maintain that traditional core white art audience. You know, or when former Indy PL CEO Jackie Needus, we talked about how the Indy Public Library struggle is so similar to this one, when she emailed the entire library staff, like a fucking idiot, trying to get a Black superintendent to support her, and instead she's so stupid and incompetent that she sent it to the entire library staff. These are the people that these boards are putting in power over our city, and they're telling us that we're too stupid and incompetent to run these things. There's more competence right here on this sidewalk than there is in the entire ruling class of Indianapolis.
Yes.
The capitalist class is racist.
That part.
And capitalism is designed to serve primarily the interests of the wealthy white families, like the Simons, like the Glicks, like the DeHaans, the Lillys, and the Ursays. But they need black faces to launder their racism. They got away with just explicit white supremacy for a few hundred years.
Yeah.
Now they realize that, you know, people are waking up to it. People are getting smart to it, and they've got to get at least somebody who can look like they are part of the community to launder their racism.
That part.
And so we see these sort of fake leaders elevated by white racists. You know, we see Randall Taylor and Kendall Adams at IMPD. We see Hope Tribble and Greg Hill at Indy PL. These are the people that the ruling class trusts to do their dirty work while undermining legitimate community criticism of the ongoing racism of the ruling class forces behind these figureheads. And as the saying goes, it doesn't matter what color the face in the high place. If the system remains the same, the system remains unjust. This is a systemic issue within white supremacist capitalism. And as some folks have pointed out, you can hear, just by the people passing by, the community is clearly on our side and not on the side of the Newfields board.
That part! Woo!
So who is the Newfields board in community with? Who are they talking to? Well, we kind of pointed out that the new interim CEO and the chair of the board of Newfields, they're both on this Lake City bank.
Boo.
You know, why are banks running our arts institutions? But it's not just Lake City Bank. We've also got people from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, their corruption was just, you know, broadcast by State Affairs. I think CBS 4 was also in on that. IEDC is an intensely corrupt organization, and they're running for governor, right? Eric What were the other guy's name? Brad Chambers. They're the same guy. They're running for government. And IEDC is the common connection to both of them. Eli Lilly and Company, a lot of connections to Eli Lilly from the board here in Newfields. Eskenazi, DePaul University. There's a lot of these connections that we need to continue to dig into and uncover because there's some obvious corruption and pay-to-play happening here.
Yeah.
And this is why we call our political system, the way our government works, a dictatorship of capital, or a dictatorship of the banks. The bankers and the owners of these big businesses have control over our public institutions, whether it's the public library, or Newfields, or the gubernatorial race. They've got their fingers in everything. Our organizations, our community, works to end the control by this invisible empire over our city and state. We've got to dismantle their racist dictatorship and establish a true multinational democracy with real power held by working people of all backgrounds.
Yes.
Whether they're black, Asian, indigenous, Latino, even white people, we reject this illusion that power should only be held by white people with some tokenized black elites, laundering the power of these white folks, while all of the real power is held by this shadowy group of white bankers in corporate boardrooms.
That's right.
And in that vein, we demand the removal of all racist white bankers and other figures from the Newfields Board of Trustees immediately. They're not the ones who resigned. They're the ones who should resign, and we're here to make that very clear to them. Every single board member who voted to terminate Dr. Burnett's employment must themselves be removed from their posts at Newfields and any other institution in this city. When Jackie Needus stepped down as the CEO of Indy, she stayed on as a member of the Board of Trustees for the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. I haven't been to an ISO concert since I found that out. And I'm not telling y'all what to do, but we've got to get these racists out of every single board, not just NDPL, not just Newfields, but every institution in our city.
Root them out.
Root them out. We've got to make sure that they're blackballed from holding any kind of position like this in the future. We don't trust them. They have no business being anywhere in a position of power.
Woo!
We also demand the reinstatement immediately of Dr. Colette Pierce Burnett.
Yes!
Museum of Art, with the real power to move this city's art museum away from its white supremacist present into our multinational future.
Woo! Yes!
And ultimately, workers and oppressed people of this city have got to come together, and we've got to get organized. We've long said that we are not outnumbered, that we are only out-organized.
That part.
And that calculus is changing, and that's what scares the absolute bejesus out of the ruling class.
That part.
They see that we are getting organized. They see that we are making these connections from struggle to struggle, from community to community. They see that when we have thousands of people on Monument Circle for the Palestinian liberation struggle, then we're not just talking about Palestine and Gaza. We're talking about how IMPD guns down 17 people in the streets of Indianapolis just this year alone. And how that's absolutely the same struggle. We're still fighting that fight.
Yes.
Our class is getting organized. We're uniting across differences, whether it's race, gender, industry that we work in, our nationality, to fight together against our shared oppressors. It is only by deepening this struggle, extending our links within the broadest sectors of the working class, that we will be able to replace white supremacist capitalism with the liberation of all peoples.
Woo!
And this is not just a slogan or a dream. We've got slogans on our signs saying racists off our boards, and that's probably not going to happen tonight. But these are not just slogans and dreams and things that we want to have happen. These are actual possibilities that we can realize if we come together and fight for it. So I know there's a clipboard going around. Make sure you're signed up for updates, volunteer your time, join community organizations that are fighting for this revolutionary change, because it is our time. Let's build the Indy that we want and that we deserve, and let's build it together. Thank you so much.
Got to go. Hey. Ho, ho. These racist boys have got to go. Ho, ho.
Are y'all ready to leave?
No.
Are y'all ready to leave?
No!
Y'all want to march?
Yes!
Yeah, we look like we got comfortable shoes on. The entrance is just down the road here on 38th Street. And look, we can't block the road, but there's nothing saying that we can't walk from here to the other side of their entrance and then decide that, oh shit, we forgot something down here and walk right back. So let's go down and let's see what's going on down here at the entrance to Newfields. Let's show the people that are trying to come in here for Winter Lights. The Winter Lights is too white, that we demand these racists off our city's boards, and that we demand the reinstatement of Dr. Burnett tonight. Let's go.
Okay, thank you.